Justin Pipe will not be worried by reputation, that's for sure. Just coming back into a little bit of form, as you mentioned, and he will fancy his chances here if Michael van Gerwen isn't at his very, very best.
Well, funnily, I know he's victorious, but I just felt Michael's game just slightly dipped a bit, but that's because of the ridiculous level he's been playing on. And yeah, Michael had success the weekend. He beat Wade 6-2 in the final at Crawley, and on Saturday lost to Kim Ibrex 6-3 in the semi-final. As you said, last year in this, lost in the semi.
Well, he's off and running. He's off and running with the first 118. I just... The contrast in styles, the fact that Van Gerwen has to wait quite a long time before he has his next throw, or the fact that Justin Pipe doesn't wait literally at all. By the time Pipe's got back behind Michael van Gerwen, he's stepping up to the hockey again.
No one ever really thinks about that, because it is effectively there's no gap either for Pipe.
Well, made a real mess there, didn't he, Michael van Gerwen?
Another great win on my stat list. I like this one. Michael won the Jägermeister Open. I reckon I could have won that a few times in the past.
16, Michael number 82.
Oh yes, double 16, double 8. Michael van Gerwen, 15 darter to get up and running. And the crowd will be cheering for Michael van Gerwen. I'm just wondering that they're cheering now every dart that Justin Pipe's throwing, because he's taking a little bit of time, and Pipe probably won't let it affect him. Let's see.
He's got his earplugs in, so I'm not sure how much of that he can hear. He can hear.
78.
Michael winning in Dubai last year and then defended it this year.
And there's the earplugs. Good stuff from Pipe here. I'm not sure how much he can hear. But Van Gerwen will definitely have to be right on his game here, because the way that Justin Pipe plays the game, he will chip away, and chip away, and all of a sudden he's on a finish.
I don't think Justin will, well, like I said, if Michael's not at his best, I'm not sure he'll quite have that scoring power to keep Michael off his back.
But he will be
certainly has the tenacity.
Yeah, but he will be a little bit impatient, I'm sure.
Yeah, he will be.
The style won't suit.
He'll get a little bored.
Yeah. Look at him, he's waiting and poised and ready, and
he'll have a cup of tea and maybe do a bit of tweeting.
Oh, excellent darts. Pipe on a possible 2-darter, but Van Gerwen has given himself a real chance. Treble for double for Justin.
Oh, he might go tops, but that's a tempting. Yeah, for the way his darts land, that was sitting lovely for him, perfect. Well, he can just keep his fingers crossed.
What a chance inside both darts. What a chance for 2-0 for Michael van Gerwen. And that is why Justin Pipe is such a dangerous opponent. Let's see if he can win the leg.
Now that's awkward. He's going to have to go left or right. I think he's choosing right. The crowd deciding the outcome of that leg, I think.
So 2-0 to Michael van Gerwen. to the crowd involvement when they're cheering every time Justin Pipe throws. I say,
oh no, I don't think them earplugs will keep.
Yeah, no,
all
I
the
mean
noise
only
out.
only Pipe. Obviously, only Pipe knows how much he can hear. And
he looks unaffected by it, but you know, I think you can still hear something.
How often did you let a crowd get to you?
Later on, then this sort of started. I mean, back in my BDO days, used to get great older. You know, they cheer in between throws. Every now and again, they get a bit excited, but ultimately, it was a real good, respectful crowd. The early years of Blackpool were immense. You know, they great crowds. But I think it's just a new thing in the Premier League. That type of almost. You know, the football fan and the football environment is transcended into our game, and it's hard to complain about because they brought in the big bucks.
Yeah, I mean they come to enjoy themselves.
They get 10,000 people. They're not going to sit there like
yeah,
church mice. You know, they're spending big money and want to have a good time. So I suppose it's just the players adapting, but I don't think I could. I think it's just too. You know, I would find it hard to cope with someone affecting the outcome of a match, and it's not down to ability. And ultimately, Michael's sort of comeback tournament, winning the Grand Prix, was getting stuffed by Merv King, and then the crowd just destroyed it. You know, they destroyed the game, and ultimately it was changed the result.
Helped by some great darts by Michael van Gerwen.
Absolutely. Yeah. But Merv's game was ultimately affected because of the crowd's participation. Now, in sport, for me, that doesn't sit well.
Better from Pipe. Much better from Justin Pipe. Oh yes, 20 for tops for Michael.
It just didn't look like he was going to miss anything then.
Justin Pipe capable.
Absolutely. You don't win all them Pro Tours if you're not capable. Treble 17 ball. Yep, ball. So close.
That was a great effort. Great effort. And it's 3-0 to Michael van Gerwen. He clipped the wire of the ball, didn't he, Justin Pipe?
Yeah. That's the problem, and Michael's just giving him scraps. You know, it's like, say about Taylor, yeah, you get shots. 141, 161, 164, 117, that's about it. Averaging 86 and change Pipe, but you know that's well below his Pro Tour form. Where Michael's up around 100, you know that's pretty much standard fare.
He's a darting phenomenon, full stop. And you know, we talk about that World Grand Prix 2 years ago. The crowd played its part, but Michael van Gerwen was sensational, and that unleashed a darting demon. Because since then, his first breakthrough win.
Let's not forget, he had no sponsors, he had no money, he was struggling to stay on tour, and they introduced the youth, which give him some confidence and a bit of money, and then from that point on, it's, you know, what
it was a life changer, a game changer.
£1.7 million later,
yeah,
and he's now the most feared player on the circuit. It's an incredible turnaround. I mean, I knew him when he was a 15-year-old kid, and he was like he is now.
99.
It was just ridiculous. Although he did have air then.
Well, he wasn't very impressed with that visit, Michael van Gerwen. So Justin Pipe, a big favourite here to get a leg on the board. Yeah, 2 treble 19s to leave double 6.
Yep.
Yeah, it's almost as if he'd given this one up.
Yeah, you can have this one.
Well, double three now for Justin. Good darts, leg on the board, off and running.
Yeah, that will lift his spirits. Fortunately, it was a leg which he started. He needs to start taking some legs off of Michael, but Michael's throwing first. So you can get out of this first little session 3-2. He's still in it, 4-1. I think it's all over.
95.
Important visit from Michael van Gerwen, the world champion.
Aussie
Simon
fans.
Whitlock against Raymond van Barneveld. What a match to round off the first day here of the European Championship. If you are just joining us, big news Friday night here in Mulheim. The defending champion Adrian Lewis is out, beaten by Jelle Klassen. The much fancied James Wade is out, beaten by Ronnie Huybrechts. The much fancied Gary Anderson is out, and Michael van Gerwen here doing his level best to make sure he isn't added to the list of big name casualties.
Michael Smith out. Andy Hamilton, another casualty.
Double 16 for an 11 darter. Great leg from Michael van Gerwen, in control here, and you can see he's keeping his concentration, he's keeping his focus, and he's dominating against Justin Pipe. He doesn't want to become a big name casualty here at the European Championship. He leads by 4 legs to 1.
Very impressive so far from Michael van Gerwen. 4-1 up then at the break over Justin Pipe. Alan alongside me. At least in this game the form book is somewhat cooperative, shall we say.
Yeah, sometimes expect it, don't you, in the first and early rounds, but some big names have gone today, but the players have, you know, they've earned the right, they played well. You've got to say that, but to lose 3 very quickly was obviously, for the tournament's standing, one of those things.
Yeah, it's not like the players that won didn't deserve to win.
That's
they
right.
did, and they were the better players. That's fair and square. It's just because it happened one after another, and they were all good matches, but
well,
you know,
the first one, Anderson and Jenkins, was an absolute high-quality game anyway, which we kind of expected, the way Anderson's form's been. Terry's got a great record against him, believe it or not, 7 or 8-0, I think.
9, I'm told.
9-0 now,
9
maybe.
on the spin.
So it just shows you that he's got the talent. But he kept with him in the match because Anderson started like a train.
Yeah.
He really, really did. But Terry kept with him and averaged 100 all the way through. And when his chance came, he took it.
No, absolutely. I think there was a pivotal moment earlier in the game, a 1-1-6, I think it was, from Jenkins, that gave him a little bit of belief, and obviously when the moment came he could get over the line. Anderson had his chances, as we just saw.
Well, yeah, it looked like it was going to the last leg, didn't it? But
it did.
Gary missed, Terry took his chance.
Yeah. The other supposed form horse of the last few weeks has been James Wade. Couldn't find it tonight against Ronnie Huybrechts.
It's just one of those things, you know, good form coming into the tournament, but just never hit it on the night.
No.
And Ronnie Huybrechts dogged, beat Taylor here last year, so he knows a decent player.
Yeah.
And never gave in once he was in front. Looked a little bit dodgy at one point, getting towards that finishing line. But James didn't take advantage.
No, and
eventually took the 48.
In lots of sports, there's a muse that can come and go for performers, if you like, and I suppose James Wade somewhat fits that bill. It's there, sometimes it's not. You can't turn it on and off like a tap. He just couldn't find it when he needed it tonight.
That's right. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. You can do all the training, practice you want, but sometimes when you get on the big stage, it doesn't go in. You can't do anything about it.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And of course, saw Klassen as well. Very strong. He was very much rolled back the years tonight, didn't he, Klassen?
Yeah, well, 2 fast players there, so we were expecting a few fireworks. But Adrian never got into the game early.
Yeah.
And he took advantage. Adrian got back into the game, but he got over the line in the end, did Jelly Class, and obviously a class player has been a world champion before. So fair play to him.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so they are all in round 2, as on current form will be Michael van Gerwen, unless Justin Pipe's got something to say about it. Back we go to the commentary box. Chris and Stuart.
Yeah, you never know, Matt. You just never know. But 10 points between them in the averages. 100 average for Van Gerwen, 90 for Justin Pipe. Interesting, during the European Tour events, and there's a lot of them here in Germany, where darts, as we know, is big time now, the crowd, the cheering between the darts for Justin Pipe, just see if Van Gerwen can get another 180. It normally goes on during the practice darts. Dave Allen, the PDC media manager, was telling me that normally when the match starts they stop, but obviously tonight.
Well, they are usually. I mean, you go to big boxing events here, they actually just sit there and just applaud respectfully. Yeah. Where if you go to a big fight in the UK, it's mayhem. So you know, it's quite unusual for them to be a bit like that over here, but I suppose in their eyes it's quite slow, but that's him. It's not like it's not doing it to put Michael off. I mean, he actually used to be a tiny little bit slower than this, but he's no slower than Priestley. No one ever complained about that.
I've always said as well on commentary with Justin Pipe that he throws the darts, and when he throws that third dart, he's quicker than anybody to get to the board.
Hamilton's no Vincent van der Voort.
Get to the board and
yeah,
get the darts out and go back.
I don't think the players particularly find his pace.
Great player, 13 in the world.
Yeah,
got to be a good player. Well, unlucky, looking for the full house to leave tops.
Just in your require 95.
Just odd sloppy visit from Michael van Gerwen. No. 20 would leave the ball. That leaves double 5. Yeah, and still very much in this. Justin Pipe, always capable of putting a run of legs together.
Yeah, the problem is,
look at this from Michael van Gerwen here.
15 dart legs with the throws, not going to be enough. Van Gerwen, it's an outrageous amount of 12 dart legs.
But Michael can't afford to switch off or just have that little lapse of concentration, which
he does do.
Yeah, which he does do, and he admits it's the Achilles heel in his game, that he just tends occasionally to just lose a little bit of concentration and focus. He's a fabulous player.
He's not bad.
98.
I mean, he literally over the next 2 decades and more can go on and achieve amazing things in this sport.
Well, I don't tend to go down that line of thought because we've all been proven so wrong over the years. You know, how long it took Lewis to just win the 1. I mean, I know he's won 2 now, and look at, you know, there's so many great players without a world title. King, Wade, Jenkins, Anderson. You know,
all things being well, he will go on to win huge amounts of big titles, Michael van Gerwen.
How many world titles do you think he'll win?
7, 8. I really do.
Okay.
And you?
5. At most. Taylor must have been pretty good.
I mean, you wouldn't haggle over the odd 1 or 2, would you? I mean, 5. If you win, if you win 5,
5 is an immense amount.
Yeah.
Especially where the game is now.
Yeah, absolutely.
65.
I mean, no disrespect to the players that are around, but I mean, you know, you look at that period where Phil won all them world titles. His main adversary really was Priestley.
Well, putting pressure on here, Piper. 140. Well, that's just as good. That's just as good. Real pressure on Van Gerwen now. Left himself tops. Got to get it. Oh, and does. And does. Just a little glimmer there for Justin Pipe. Just ever so
Dangled the carrot.
slight. Yeah, absolutely, ever so slight. He's had to finish well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Three good darts for not a lot.
No, that's the cruel side of the game. And very rarely rewarded. And look, there's another one. That's a beauty.
40.
Well, that's frustrating. And this is 2 for Michael.
60.
60, followed by 60.
Yes.
Well, you can see there he's dragging himself back. He's trudging back to get a sip of water. He's not even looking at what Justin Pipe's doing. Finally turns round and gets ready to throw. But that might be his way of dealing with the weight
Yes,
between
that's a
throws.
good idea.
Yeah.
40.
Well, he's not happy, is he?
I
Last
can tell what's
9
going on.
darts. 60, 60, 40.
Yeah, it's quality. Get a game for us on a Thursday night.
Still be too good for me.
Yeah, I think in his mind he's thinking, right, next leg, my throw. Stick a 12 in.
51.
Well, that's 12 darts thrown,
140.
and he hasn't hit one single big treble.
Another one of those leaves double 10. Yep.
120. 60.
Well, it's
Just in your class.
got to be one of the worst legs that we've ever seen from Michael Van Gerwen. Putting things into perspective, of course. Justin Pipe to get another leg on the board, to stay in the match, to keep the pressure on. Looking at double 10.
No score.
That's 4 darts he's had at double 10, and you know, Van Gerwen had just kept an even
Yeah. Steady
slightly
tens.
better order.
60.
Well, he's had 18 darts and got down to 170.
Just like me. Stu, unlucky.
He's shown the
5-3 it is.
Thank
Still
goodness
in
for
there,
that.
still fighting, still hoping, still in with a chance. There was that last leg, Michael Van Gerwen's little lapse of concentration. Yeah, that'll do nicely. Throw for the match, you start with a 140.
Pipe's record this event. 2011, lost first round to Nicholson. 2012, lost first round to Dolan. And last year lost 10-6 to Klassen in the second round. Not happy hunting ground when you look in comparison. Players' Championship finals, semi-finals, 2012, 2013. Quarter-finals, twice of the match play. Semi-final of the Grand Prix. Maybe you just don't like Germany.
Well, the winner of this will play Brendan Dolan, who averaged nearly 105
He was impressive.
in beating
Really
Michael
clinical.
Smith. Justin Pipe still fighting.
91.
Not been vintage Van Gerwen, has it, by any means? 91 average. Justin Pipe, 89. 2 big trebles here makes it interesting. We'll switch.
59.
Michael will have a go at this, I think. Go out,
Yeah,
go
I'm
out
sure.
with a bang. This will be the frustrating thing for Pipe. You look at the stats of this match and think, why wasn't I really in this?
Yeah.
You know, he's hardly been blown away. It's not, you know, it's not the big 100+ averages we usually see from Michael and explosive scoring.
There it is. Did what he had to do, Michael van Gerwen. Certainly didn't have the rhythm. It wasn't the pace of game that would suit Michael van Gerwen. But unlike Adrian Lewis, unlike Gary Anderson, unlike James Wade, the world #1 safely through to round 2. Michael van Gerwen's bid to win the European Championship is underway.